So we're here with Jakob Owens, legendary music video director, editor from LA.
Yes, sir.
This guy is a total beast. He's got 92 million video views on YouTube, 360,000 subscribers. He's been on MTV, VH1, Revolt. He's worked with a lot of big name people. He's just absolutely killing it. You watch his Snapchat, every day he's like on a shoot, on a shoot, on a shoot. And then after that, he's editing. Just a total monster. It's like,
yeah,
this guy kills it. So, Jake, welcome to the Dope Shot Club Q&A.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me. What's up, everybody?
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. Appreciate you, Jake, for coming out here and being number one in the Q&A. It's going to be pretty cool. Hope to drop some knowledge bombs on everyone out there.
Yeah, we
just help people like get started or like further their knowledge. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Cool.
We're going to talk a lot about your passion for it, kind of your history coming into it. And then you're going to talk about how, we can get people just doing their thing and getting started with video and getting clients and stuff like that. So I'd like to have you just kind of
go into it. So
about your history.
My background, when I was a kid growing up with my brother, we always, I pulled out my family's, we had an old VHS camera, and when we were little kids, we would just literally film Hot Wheels cars, to make our own little monster movies, to film us playing basketball and wiffle ball and make slam dunk contest videos. I was always filming something, and we'd have to edit in camera by rewinding the tape and then stopping it and then recording again. And because when I was growing up I was young then, but we didn't have video cameras like that. So I always liked it. And then I think it was in high school, I think it was my sophomore year, there was a video class. It was brand new, so I kind of joined the video class. And a lot of my friends knew I liked to mess with video that were on the football team, and I didn't play football personally, but they're like, yo, you should make us a football video, a commercial. And so we made this video, and I'm looking back on it now, it's absolutely garbage, but then it was tight. It was real, and it played at the pep rally. And when the video played at the pep rally, literally all day long, I had people coming up to me at school, teachers and students, you should make videos, that should be your job, and that was kind of the moment, I'm gonna make videos, movies, that's what I'm gonna do. So
that's when the lightning hit.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of when I decided I was gonna start making videos, and then decided I was gonna go to ASU for their film school. The film school was relatively new, but you had to go through 1 year general education before you could even apply to the film school. And then you had to apply to the film school. It wasn't like you were just automatically in. So you had to write essays, multiple essays, get references, make a short film or write a script. And then if they liked you enough, you'd go and have interviews. And if you passed the interviews, then you got accepted. So a lot of people would apply, but only a select few would get in. And some people wouldn't get in until their second or third try applying. And I got in right away. And I actually had it really, really rough at my film school. I'm very much reserved, I guess, when it comes especially to more a classroom setting. I would always sit in the back. I'm not one that's going to raise my hand every time and answer questions like this, and I kind of did my own thing. And so I didn't get along with teachers really well, or even a lot of students. There was a few students, but it was around my junior year. I was still making videos and little things here and there, nothing really music video related. Then my junior year, I was going to ASU, and one of my buddies who I went to high school with, Futuristic, who is now, a very big, well-respected rapper. We have videos with millions of plays on YouTube and stuff. But I went to high school with Zach, is his name. It goes by rapper Futuristic. We went to high school together, and so he was starting to take music more seriously at this point. He's like, hey, you go to film school, right? You want to make a music video? And I was kind of I guess. And at this time, a T2I had just come out. It was the brand new, hottest thing. My buddy had one for some reason. I didn't even really own a video camera at this point. It was just a little tape camera that I had. Yeah. And so he brought over the T2I and was letting me mess with it. I was like, this is crazy. Look how clear, how crisp it is. It's HD. Because I didn't have it.
Oh
yeah, I didn't have HD. It was a tape. I had tapes. And so we shot a music video on Mill Ave in Tempe, Arizona. And after we released it, I started getting hit up by local rappers all of a sudden, hey, you do music videos? How much you charge? And I was like, I guess I do now. Like, and so I literally went out, bought a T2i. All I had was a T2i and a kit lens, and I started shooting music videos like for local rappers for like, I think it was like $200. Like, I think I would just $200. I'd take that money, buy a new lens, buy a shoulder rate, like save it and buy gear, and then I started having like a little Steadicam. Then I had a 5D, and so at this point it was like late in my junior year / kind of senior year, and I was like, I was doing that in junior year, and then getting better late junior year. Going into senior year of college, this is where it gets kind of like interesting. Is I started like getting to the point where I was getting kind of recognized, and like people were flying me out of state to shoot their videos. I was going to California a lot. Then flying back, and so this was during school, like, and I did some during the summer too, but this was happening a lot during school, so I'd miss class a lot, and I'd go do this and come back, and like a couple of my teachers like were not happy, and like just like, why are you ditching class and this and that, and I was like, oh, I went to LA to shoot a video, like a music video for YouTube, and like I don't think they really understood that, and because I'll get into it.
These weren't your film school teachers, were they?
Yeah, they were my film professors, and I was like, no, listen, like I'm gonna get into a really crazy story. So, anyways, like it was just kind of like I was leaving school a lot to go shoot these videos out of state, like Washington, Atlanta. I have some wild stories, but anyways, just solo flying out shooting these videos on like my DSLR. And putting them together and putting them on my YouTube channel. Because at this time, a lot of artists, like, that kind of whole realm of things was new. And, like, music videos on YouTube and, like, coming up. So there wasn't, like, rappers didn't necessarily have their own music video channel. So it's like I started posting stuff to my channel. And then it kind of gained in notoriety. And they just let me post it to my channel. And that's where I started growing. Gotcha. But anyways, going into my senior year, we had to work on basically our thesis project, which was either make a short film or write a short film. And the alternative, which was looked down upon, was make 3 music videos. And I was like, oh, I got this in the bag. Like, I'm just gonna literally turn in 3 videos I've already shot. Like I was like looking at the easy way, so I didn't have to work all semester and could still go out and work and just turn in 3 videos. And so we'd have to follow this big curriculum and course, and like we'd have journals and, you know, pre-production and kind of like, because this was a huge thing, and like I just wasn't doing any of that. Like this is for our main directing class, because I was just going out and shooting videos, and I wasn't doing what these other people were doing, making short films. And so my teacher in class, in front of all the students, would like call me out and like make fun of me. Like it would come to me, and his name was Collins, and he'd go, and now we come to Jake, who we know doesn't have anything prepared for us, and would just kind of mock me, and I remember a couple students after class at times would come up to me and they'd be like we know what you're doing, like we understand it, like, and I don't think he just got it, like he didn't get the whole YouTube thing and where it was going and what I saw it could be, you know, and then at one point he called me into his office and we had office hours. Like he called me in his office to have a talk, and he literally sat me down and was just like, explained why he was mad I was not following like the curriculum or whatever. It was like just this music video thing, He was like, I could show your stuff to 5 directors I know right now and they would all say it sucks. Like, just up front to me, just was like, I can show your work to these 5 directors I know and they'll say it sucks. And I was like, show it to them, like, because they won't say it sucks. And I was like, who are these 5 people? Send it to them right now. And he was just like, well, you know, like, and he just like kind of backtracked. And then I remember I showed him a video on my computer, on my laptop, and then he was just like, as soon as it was over, like he didn't even finish it, he was just like, I can't watch this. This is just, there's so many things wrong with this and this and that. And I was like, I don't think you understand like where I'm going with this and what YouTube can be. I was like, I already, at this point, I didn't have a crazy amount of views or anything, but I was like, I already have like tens of thousands, or I might have had over a couple 100,000 or something like that. I was like, I have a couple 100,000 views on YouTube, and he kind of was like, huh? And then he like, you could see there was this moment of like, wow, really? But then he went right back to like, and literally we argued for like 45 minutes and left like basically mad at each other, and I was pissed at him and nothing. It was just, he was just basically expressing like, I'm not okay with any of this. And so then senior thesis night, we had to turn in our 3 videos, or, you know, turn in our movies, and we were watching the movies on the big screen in front of all our family, friends, and students, and we'd play my 3 music videos, and he came up to me afterwards, and he was just like, those were really good. Like, I want to apologize. Like,
What?
and so now he's actually asked me, like, he's like, I've been following you ever since you graduated on Facebook. Like, can you come back and speak to my class, you know, my directing class? And, like, he wants me to come back and speak, and I haven't yet, but I don't know if I will.
That's crazy.
So
that's
anyways,
like a tale of redemption.
Kind of crazy.
That's so wild.
Yeah, then right after college, moved out to LA, moved out there by myself, because I kind of had already a bit of a following and had a lot of clients that were out in LA and were waiting for me to get to. I was losing out on a lot of big opportunities because as soon as people would be like, you know, we want a link, talk about videos, I'm like, oh, I'm in Arizona. They're like, let us know when you're out here type thing. Like, and so I was like, I need to move out there. Otherwise I'm going to be stuck doing local music videos this whole time. And moved out there. And now it's been a little over 2 years. I've only been out there like a little over 2 years, and I've done lots of big videos, big names, MTV, BET, VH1, Revolt,
with,
movie theaters.
Paul McCartney's son? Jesse McCartney, right?
I don't think that's his son.
Oh, really?
I don't think that's his son. But yeah, Jesse McCartney was like the Justin Bieber of like my era and age, and so I worked with him, and that video played like at AMC theaters before movies. It would play on huge. I remember I got a couple texts like, "Yo, I'm at the theaters right now. I just saw your Jesse video," like, and stuff like that, and like TVs. I'd get like tweets and Snapchats from people in like Kansas City or something. At, you know how certain malls have like music videos playing on their TVs in their food courts and stuff, and it was like the video was playing there, and gyms, like my sister would like, and mom and other people would like. The other day I was in I shot the Hit the Quan video. I didn't direct it, but I shot the Hit the Quan video, and I always joke with my friend, we're always in the gym, they're always playing music videos, and I've never been in there when one of my videos is played, and the other, like, we always talk about it, and then literally, like, I left, and a day later, he Snapchats me, like, from the treadmill, my video playing, like, on the TV, and he's like, the day you're not here, so yeah, I mean, I've had kind of work all over the world, web, TV, been on a reality show where I directed a video.
It's so crazy, because, like, you see so many people out there that, like, get into it, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna, like, become this big, like, name, and then it just never happens, like, what do you credit it to? I think you become like such an anomaly.
Because I can kind of attest to exactly what you said with some local people here. Like, there was a couple, like, when I started doing videos, I had like, I think it was like 3 or 4 younger kids who like were like fans or supporters of mine that were in Arizona and were doing videos, and they weren't bad, and like they'd come on set, help me out, and kind of started doing videos local and stuff. And one dude doesn't even do it anymore. He's a car salesman. The other guy works at Apple and just does them in his spare time, like for fun. They both would have loved to do it on a large scale, but I think a big part of it is really the whole dedication and just devoting everything to it. Like, I moved away. I went to ASU, which is 5 minutes down the street from my parents' house right here. Yeah. I was never in my life from 5 minutes from, you know, my parents' house, even in college. But all of a sudden, as soon as I graduate, I made the leap and went to LA. Not saying it's gonna pay off right away, but these kids that maybe could have made it if they went there and could have met someone who put them in the right circle, and they're working at a production company or start doing their own stuff. You never know. But they stayed local. They didn't really do much here, or they just didn't work hard here, or didn't try to expand from here and reach out to people elsewhere to where they could travel to shoot. You know, it's just, I think you have to like really want it and do the necessary like things that, you know, are gonna you know, if I would have stayed here in AZ and not went to LA and not moved there after I graduated, there's no way I would have done any of the stuff that I've done. My videos, I would have. You're not saying I would have no videos on TV
because you went to LA. You're saying more because it's just like you took the opportunity. You saw like a bigger picture, and you like put forth dedication to like put it on the line to like make it happen.
No, and I remember when I moved out. Like I said, never lived far from home. I moved out there. My parents helped me move out there. Then I left, and I remember like the first couple nights right after, I was like, what did I do? I was like, this is a mistake. Like, I was like so homesick, like just a couple days in, and I was like, what if this doesn't like work? Like, what if I don't get like these big, you know, what if I don't get videos, and all of a sudden I'm just like stuck here, and like I don't know. It was like, I remember the first couple months, it was like, even though I was doing videos, like it was still like super scary.
So did you already have videos lined up when you went out there, or did you kind of get out there and you
no, like I said, I had a lot of like people that the majority of my clients were in LA. I was going back and forth LA a lot already, and then I had other people reaching out to me to shoot videos and that I hadn't shot with before, but once they find out I was in Arizona, I was like, yo, once you're in LA, like, let us know. So as soon as I was in LA and I was hitting people and I was just like, move to LA, I remember within the first 2 weeks, I was on an Akon shoot. I helped PA on like this one shoot from one of the artists from the Black Eyed Peas. I helped edit a T-Pain video, like, and that was all because I went there. That wouldn't have happened if I stayed in Arizona. Like, that was literally because I moved to LA and all of a sudden these doors opened. So definitely, it's like you have to do the things that, you know, you're gonna have to take risks and do the things. That's
really what it's all about. You know, a lot of people, like you're saying, just they want to have one foot like in the normal world, like the guy who's like working at Apple or the guy who's the car salesman. They want to have like that kind of comfortability, but it's like you're never going to reach those higher levels because you're going to have to push away those opportunities.
Exactly.
You got to work the next day. You know
exactly. And that's what I mean, not like it's anything big, but I have a wedding that next month that I have to come back here and shoot. And I hit that guy that works at Apple and was just like, yo, I have a wedding that I need to shoot. I need a second shooter. Like, you down? And he was like, well, what time? I have work. Like, so he's already missing out on an opportunity to connect with me, shoot with me. Not that, like, that's like, you know, I don't want to like blow that up as like that's what it is.
Mean, imagine if he connects you, you're a direct connection to these other like bigger projects. You know? Because if you can rely on him.
Dude, all of my biggest jobs that I've done have come from a connection I have with someone, knowing someone. The Jesse McCartney video came from this one producer who I met in DC, who was heading up Jesse's project and knew like they needed a director on a like that could do really big stuff on a like tighter budget. Yeah. He was like, "Yo, I need you, Jake." That was not because Jesse hit me up or his management. It was this producer who I know, who made a connection with and went out to dinner one night with, and all of a sudden he brought me on. Nick Carter from Backstreet Boys, same guy. Tracy Braxton video that aired on a reality TV show, and my name's on there. Director Jakob Owens on We Television or whatever. That was another producer that I knew, just personal connection. Like, that's what I'm saying. And then the Hit the Quan, the what's a couple of the other bigger ones that I've done. But though some other of the bigger ones came from this guy Rage, who I edited a video for Hoodie Allen that he directed. Because Hoodie Allen, the video turned out terrible, so Hoodie wanted me to edit it. He sent me all the footage that edited it, and this guy who directed it was named Rage. He did all the Soulja Boy videos, all the big videos, Lil Wayne back in the day. He's like an OG. He saw the video, like, that was edited, and he hit Hoodie, and he was like, who is this guy? And he put me in contact with him, and every time he's brought me an opportunity, I try and make sure I'm free, and I do it. Because it's like, this dude has plugged me with so many big jobs and opportunities.
Yeah, you see the opportunities
there. And like he just had me come out for basically had like no money. It was a very small budget to help shoot this little riff-raff event thing here in Phoenix. It was barely paying anything. Like realistically, like I shouldn't have done it with what I was getting paid, but I was like, he's coming into town. It's Rage, the connect that hooks me with bigger things, and like why would I just not do it all because of a couple $100?
You see a bigger value in the connection than you do in the monetary payment.
Connections, it's definitely not what you know, but who you know. Like I said, all my big opportunities and videos have come through knowing the right person. Yeah. And I'll see people out there doing bigger stuff than me. That's like, to me, their skill or their work is like, I don't even think on my level at all, like very much below. And it's like, how are they doing that? And it's because they probably are best friends with this person, or they have a personal connect with this person who looked it up. Yeah. And that's how it is, and that's the tough part.
Formula. Take big risks, take opportunity, and like connect and network with everybody.
Yeah, and that's what I honestly struggle with is the networking. I don't like to like go out and connect with this person and do lunch, and because they just want to meet and talk. Like I'm like, I don't want to just like meet and talk. Like I want to do like, so it's like I even struggle with that. Happen. And there's probably plenty of opportunities I've missed out on just because I've either like bailed on some meeting that I didn't want to go to, or didn't like hit this person back when they were in town and they're like, yo, hit me up, and you know, whatever. So I mean, I could have done probably X amount of bigger projects had I been better at that. So even that's something I need to work on. So
that's dope. Well, yeah, this kind of like leads into some of the questions that people have too about like how to get started and like, you know, like how did you like, because you're saying it sounds like, okay, you jumped into it and you did this video at ASU and you kind of developed a notoriety for it.
Yeah.
And like you went through your film program and then like suddenly you have artists like calling you in LA like, hey, come out here. So it's like, where's that connection? Where's that link? You know?
I think a big part of it was just the videos getting recognition on YouTube and these artists coming across this video on YouTube and being like, oh, this video is dope. Who did this? And then they look in the description and see my name and then just hit me up. But also a big part of it, what I did is like when I started doing these videos, I built like a reel, like, and then I remember one of the first bigger artists I reached out to at the time. His name was DY. He went by DY. He was a rapper, and I had this little reel, and I knew he shot videos with this guy named Rex Arrow. He always shot videos with him, and I was like, it's not going to hurt to try. I literally messaged him on Facebook, which I wouldn't recommend as the most professional way to message someone, but I couldn't find his email or anything anywhere, so I just messaged him on Facebook. It was just like his artist page. I was just like, hey, I could shoot you better videos than what you're getting now for cheaper. Here's my reel. I really dig your work. Like, I would love to collaborate on something. And his brother actually opened the message on his Facebook page and responded. And literally a week later, he came out to Arizona. We shot our first video. And he was a big step up from, like, the artist I was working with. Like, he was had a little more notoriety, and he was getting a lot more plays on YouTube. So after we shot that video and released it, he has X amount of people looking at him and people that are bigger that know him as well. So it's kind of like a stepping ladder. I was here, I reached out to him and did this video, and then all of a sudden these people up here saw that video and was like, oh, that's dope, and so they wanted me to do a video. And then here, so it was just kind of like I would reach out to people and just like pitch them my email, like, I like your work, I would love to work with you. And I need to do that.
Straight up just emailing individuals and like
and I need to do that more now, because the other day, like, I don't do it more because I've got comfortable with everything coming to me, like, and not having to like reach out like the early stages. But just for the heck of it, the other day I was like, let me just reach out to someone. I reached out to Mike Posner. I literally just hit him on Twitter. It was either Twitter or Instagram. Like, I was just like, I think I tweeted him. I was like, I love your work. Like, I've always, liked your music. Would love to collaborate on something. Literally followed me, then DM'd me and was like, yo, hit me up. Like, and all of a sudden Mike Posner, and I haven't followed up on it yet, which I need to do, but all of a sudden I just reached out, like, and what did that hurt? It didn't hurt me at all to reach out, and I'm sure you're going to have tons of people who won't respond or you might not, but that one person who does, like, shoot, if I follow up and now I work with Posner on something, how many people know or look at what he's doing that now because I did a video with him, so I need to get back to that thing of like, because I get so many inquiries every day, it's like, I just get comfortable with, like, I don't have to search for it. But I should reach out to people who I want to work with and who are bigger, that I could develop those.
Work up that ladder.
Yeah, and that I could develop those relationships and make those connections. Because, like I said, I do a video for Posner or just become cool with him. You never know what that's going to turn into.
So, like, when you're sending out a message to someone like that, just kind of like cold, are you saying anything specific? Are you trying to keep it a certain way?
Try and keep it nice, short, like, because when I get messages that are like extremely long and it's just like, hey, I'm an up and coming rapper, then immediately I'm like, no, like, it's just like, because I have other things to do, and there's just like you don't want to seem like an amateur right off the bat. Hey, I'm an up and coming rapper, like, immediately I'm like, I don't even want to finish the rest of this. Like, and especially you want to keep it professional too. You want it to sound and look good. Like, I'll get emails like, yo, what's a video cost? And no name, no information. Like, literally that'll be the email. And yo, what's a video cost? I know I will never respond to that message ever. I don't care. Like, it's just, I'm not going to respond to that. I do not want to work with you. I already know I don't want to work with you. And so just same thing.
You keep it like 2 or 3 sentences.
Same thing. Same thing for... Yeah, same thing. So for video people reaching out, keep it professional and keep it nice, short, and sweet. Just be like, hey, my name's Jakob Owens. Love your work. I'm a director, editor, cinematographer. I would love to collaborate. Here's my reel. Something short and sweet, professional. Here's my work. You don't want to send them a message without them being able to easily see what you can do. Like, if I just message someone like just like, hey, I'm a director, would love to work with you. Hit me back. It's like, they're not going to hit you back. Like, they want to be able to see without having to hit you back. Like, oh, can you send me some stuff? oh yeah, I can send you some stuff. Here it is, and then like just make it short, concise, all right there. Yeah, exactly. So
that's dope. And so did you do that a lot in the beginning? You know,
I did in the beginning, and like I said, I need to get back to it, but that's what I did in the beginning. I would just find artists I liked that I wanted to shoot for, or companies that maybe I wanted to shoot for, mainly music though. I wanted to do music videos, so I was reaching out to artists all the time, Facebook, emails, just kind of everything, sending out those emails and messages, and yeah, it worked sometimes. And a lot of times I would never even hear back or get an email response back, but that's fine. All you need are, one or two to work, then that could lead to, some other stuff. So
that's dope.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So I think something that's unique about your style is that like you're like 99% music videos. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to shoot a wedding, I'm going to shoot a music video, I'm going to shoot this and that and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people are asking, like, because you have such skill in that, like Raymond Rayner is like, okay, how do you go about planning your shots? We have Adam Garib, which I'm sure you remember Adam. He's talking about like, how do you manage your time and like all that stuff. Like people are really interested in like how you kind of zoned into your specific style. Because like you have a really unique style and like how you plan those out. So if someone's gonna go out there and like shoot like their first music video, like what are like the essential shots you think that they need? Or like when you're figuring out like a music video shoot, like what do you like start with first and how do you break it all down?
So I mean, I guess it depends. I'm gonna talk more small scale just because I think a lot of people here aren't going to be necessarily working with $30,000 budgets. Like, like when I started and kind of I still to this day will go do very small run and gun shoots with just a DSLR or a mirrorless camera and a Steadicam, and that's it, And so, and I do those still because it's quick and it's still work and related to music and what I do on channel, and it's nice and easy, and they're a lot less stressful than having $30,000 to worry about and the client like being happy at the end, and you're like, I mean, it's a lot of pressure when you're dealing with these bigger ones. But for those smaller ones, I mean, what I would always do is just get the standard I feel like you should always get whatever shot you do. At least for me, I like wide shots a lot, so I make sure I always get like good master wide shots, and then I'll punch in and get a couple like closer up shots performance wise. Like, you want to have something that wide you can kind of see the space they're in, but then you can also cut to a close up and kind of punch in and out of those.
Yeah.
And then
so what kind of millimeter are you talking, like super wide, like 8mm fisheye, or
no. I mean, if that's your style, if you just want to shoot everything fisheye, then make that your style.
The 90s hip hop right there.
I always used like a 21. 21 was always kind of like my go-to, 21 or a 24. And then I would punch into like a 50 or, usually like a 50 for the close-ups. But, and then you just want to make sure you have like a lot of B-roll, like whether it's B-roll that's not slow motion or slow motion that you can really kind of cut in between, because a lot of times like music videos, like on the like independent scale, it'll be like literally 3 minutes of nonstop performance, and there's no like interesting cutaways or like B-roll, and it's just like, no one wants to watch someone perform for 3 minutes, even if they're different locations, like changing it up a little bit to having a cool insert shot of them, even if it's just walking or just dust in the air or like a street post, and like just stuff that you can intercut to keep it somewhat, interesting, and like it's the pace is, so it's not, again, just performance shot here, close up performance shot here, performance here, like, and there's just like, that's it. So just making sure you have enough B-roll.
Like a few locations each time, and then like do the performance shot, and then capture some B-roll at each location.
Exactly.
Next one, right?
Yeah. So that's kind of what I did. I guess.
So tell me, I know that you do a lot of like one takes as well.
Yeah.
People are definitely interested in the one takes.
Okay.
We're like, okay, I know that you do those. Like, how do you set up for those? Like, what kind of pre-planning do you do for that stuff?
None whatsoever. Literally, the first one we did was the futuristic No Way video, which you guys go look that up on YouTube. Futuristic No Way. I think it's over 6 million plays now. But literally, Zach always did these things in the booth called one takes, where he would just literally like spit the entire song once, like without messing up, like just on the mic, like without punching in or stuff. And he always we never called them one takes, but we all like on the video, but it was always like just like in studio one take, like one time through. And so just like we had the song, and it was just like, yo, let's shoot like a one take but it's like literally like it's just one take. You just walking. We'll pick a cool spot. We chose the L.A. River Basin, like the L.A. River, and shot the futuristic video No Way on a Ronin system with the Red Epic. And that one took us a few tries. Once again, no rehearsal. It was literally just like
work out so much, huh? So you can get like one take.
Yeah. And so literally just had him go, and I would call out things like, you know, the slight pre-planning. There's one line in the song where he says, "Take a knee, Tim Tebow," something like that. And that was the only kind of direction I gave him, was like, yo, on that line, take a knee, and we'll probably like come in and push in on you, which we ended up doing, and you'll see in the video. Yeah. But literally, it was just kind of, we just wing it. Like, I'm like, all right, go to the left, 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 left. You know, I'm calling out directions or whatever, and he's just performing. I think that one took 4 tries. But there's been other ones, like we shot one at Venice Beach. Literally, we went out there. We just kind of walked over to the basketball court. We're like, oh, this area is cool.
This one.
And I was like, just start on the bleachers, and we'll just go. And like we literally, it was like, he was like, all right. He started on the bleachers. He sits up from the bleachers, like grabs the basketball, lays it in, and the whole thing was freestyled, like literally not an ounce of planning. And that was the very first and only take we shot. And we watched it after, and I was like, I'm good. He's like, I'm good. Like, all right, let's go home.
That's hella dope.
We drove like an hour to shoot something that took like 5 minutes, or the song's like, I don't know, 3 minutes. So like literally like 3 minutes of shooting, and then we left. So,
crazy.
But yeah, a lot of those are just like, we do it because they're simple, and not all the time like do you have to do something. Like some of Futuristic's most viewed videos are those one takes, and it's literally him walking in a straight line, or walking on the basketball court or the LA River, and all we're doing is walking. Took no money to make, and literally he's like, some of his most viewed videos. I remember when the No Way one popped off, we're like, we have to do more of these. Like, and so we started labeling them #one takes, and then I started seeing other videos on YouTube start popping up, like #one take. People would send me a message like, hey, check out my new one take, and I just started seeing people like bite it everywhere. And I was like, dang, we kind of like created something. So it was cool.
That's really cool. So let me ask you this then. Okay, so you're talking about before, like, okay, let's get like 3 locations, let's get some B-roll. People don't like to watch like just performance shots. But then the one take is doing really well. Like, what do you think is going on there?
I think that what it is it's a little different, because it's not just like cutting away to performance shots all the same. It's literally like one fluid long thing. And if you have an artist that can keep your attention, like Futuristic, he's so animated and energetic, and that's what people like tell me all the time. They'll be like I love watching Futuristic perform. Like he keeps your attention. So I think it's the mixture. I think it's the mixture of the interesting movements along with being one take, and him just keeping the audience's attention with his performance on camera. You could probably do the same thing with another artist, like I don't know, what's his name? The guy that, I'm trying to think of. Like, I don't know. But basically, and it could totally flop because they just look so boring on camera, and they're just like, so I think it's just a mixture of it's a little different than what people are used to seeing. Like, I mean, not that we invented one takes, because that's not the case at all. Like, one takes have been around for forever, but just that not a lot of people do them or were doing them. And not that ours are super detailed and complex, because we weren't putting any money into it, but I think it's still something kind of was new that people hadn't really seen. I remember a couple of the early comments on there was like, this is dope, it's all one shot. And it was like the easiest shot. We're just walking backwards, like, but people liked it. So
then if someone, do you think you need necessarily like a Ronin or like a stabilized rig, or can you do it just handheld?
I think you
need
need
some people to be like, I want to do this one take shoot, but I need like, I gotta pick up a Movi, and it's like what, $3,500,
yeah,
G's, whatever.
Well, what I've been using recently is just a glide cam, like, and the glide cam works like, so this is again, and these one takes, they don't really cost money to produce, because if you can find a cool location, and just do it in a cool location, and you're not having like props and people coming in to play and different things, it's easy to do. And Futuristic, one of the things he said is, we did this King's Speech remix to this girl, Queen's Speech, her song, and the video hit like 5 million views in like just a couple months, quick. And then we shot this video, Call of Duty, for Futuristic, which he put $3 or $4 grand into, and hasn't even hit 1 million yet. He was like, why would I spend? Like, he kind of got into the mindset of, I'm not gonna spend money on music videos when literally a video of me walking down the street hits 5 million plays. Like, and so that was kind of frustrating a little bit though, because it was like I wanted to like do cooler stuff like the Call of Duty video where there's money and budget behind it, rather than just a video of walking down the street. But for some reason those do well for him.
So do you see each video kind of like as an experiment? Like you shoot it, you put it out there, and then like judging on the views, you kind of like adjust your style?
I wouldn't say I adjust my style, but maybe like for artist wise, yeah, seeing what works. Like Futuristic has really found that like one takes, even just recording in his closet on the microphone or in the studio just one time through, and people love that. And those will get like, he dropped one of those over this new music video that they spent kind of like, I didn't shoot it, but on tour, while he was on tour, he shot a video over a bunch of dates and stuff, and they put a lot of work into that. And a video that shot in his closet that took 5 minutes is going to get more views than that video over there. So it's like, finding what works for you and go for it. And a lot of people sometimes like hate on him, like, oh, why is he, recording in his closet, or these one takes are getting old. But it's like, they work, like, and a lot of times regardless, you're gonna have people that don't like what you do. You're always gonna have haters. You could have the most perfect video in the world, but there's someone who's not gonna like it. Not everyone's taste is the same, and so that's the other thing. You can't get like butthurt about comments, and it's super hard. I'll even struggle with it. Like they'll be like, this video is trash. I'm like, really? Like, no, I think it's tight. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. If you think it's cool, then it's cool.
Yeah. As an artist, you want to just put out high quality stuff for yourself.
And you want to, like the stuff you put out. And if you're happy with what you put out, then
because I see that your style is like, it's totally like, if you see something, it's like, that's Jakob Owens style. You have like the super fast cuts, and maybe like some like color inversions and stuff like that. Like, how did you develop your style over time? A lot of people are like, they shoot it, but it looks really generic,
Yeah. No, and it's funny. That's what, like, a lot of times when I sit down with artists, or I send them my reel, or I sit down and they want to see my work and they see my reel, one of the first things they say is, they'll be like, bro, your color, like, I love your color, like, everything's just so vibrant. And then they'll be like, your editing is crazy. And I have people that hire me just for editing because they want me to edit, and
you got that sway. I remember we were on set,
right? The camera moves,
shoulder cam, like, move.
and that's the other thing that I've developed, like, just a super fast editing speed, like, and that'll bring you clients back and forth time again. I can't tell you how many people, rappers or artists, have told me like, I can't work with anyone else after working with you, because it takes weeks to get my video back, and you'll get it to me the next day. Like,
tell me about that. A lot of people are like, okay, tell me about like your system that you have in place, like your file structure. What is it that allows you to like jump right into it?
If someone were to look at my file structure, they'd be like, what the hell is this? Like, I'm the most disorganized as far as like, I don't label things and put them in certain folders to like, oh, these are B-roll clips, or these are this. Like, I just throw all the clips in the side and I just start pulling them in. And my process when editing is, I always start with performance. I start with a first performance take, lay it all the way down on the bottom, sync it up, chop out all the good moments that I want, delete the bad, lay in the next performance over top of that. Fill in those blank spots with, if that clip has a good moment there, but chop all the good moments, delete all the bad ones, lay in the next clip. And I literally will have a timeline of all performance, and like, and then I go on, and where it like starts to get stale, like, it got a little boring here, or it's been too long since there's been some other type of shot, I splice in B-roll. Or if there's a narrative, working in the narrative through that whole timeline, and working it through over top of certain performances. That's just the basic of what I do and what works for me. And like I said, I don't list or organize or label stuff, B-roll, this or that, like, but I mean, it literally doesn't take me more than a day. I've never had a project that's taken me more than a day to
That's crazy.
edit.
So you're like sub 48-hour turnaround time every time.
Every time. And that's why I'll tell people. I hate telling people that, though, at the same time, because then if I don't do it, then I feel like, but I don't think there's been a time. I don't think there's been a time where I've fallen flat on that promise. But literally,
so
like,
kind of like what, like under promising, over delivering.
Yeah. And I'll say 2 days. I never say next day, just because even though I always get it to them pretty much the next day. It depends also to how many projects I have going on. They'll be like, yo, when can I get this? And I'll be like, I have 4 videos I have to edit right now, like that I just shot. But you'll definitely get it within the week, or Gotcha. But then I usually end up going home and then like just pumping it out that night or something. So it's always super quick, and like I said, that brings people back over and over again, because people are like, "Yo, I can't work with anyone else." Like, and you're just too like you're, and it's not like the video is crappy when I give it to him. It's good, it's quality. It's like not a rushed edit. Like it looks great, and someone got mad at me the other day because I got it back to him so fast. They were like upset. It was the manager, the artist manager. I've worked with this artist a ton. They love me, and they're always like, they love my work. But literally, the manager got involved and was just like, because we kind of got into a little riff about something, and then he just was like, in the email, kind of dogged me. He was like, "Sure, we liked your 3-hour edit," in like quotations, and then I was like, hold up, like, did he just like diss me for getting them their edit back so quickly? I was like, wow, I've never had that happen. Like, and he's like, by our standards,
like what he would think though, he's like, oh, he just slapped it together. You know?
Yeah, and that's what he probably thought. But it's like, he was like, by our standards, this is a rough edit, and by far not even close to a rough edit. It had full on color effects. It was super deep. By far not a rough edit. And I was like, like you're tripping. Like, and so literally, this is what happened. They had me re-edit it, but I didn't get it back to him for like a week and a half or like a week. And when they were asking about the video, I literally responded. I was like, oh, I didn't want to give you guys another 3-hour edit. And so I kind of played it right back to him. It was like, if you're going to get so upset, or for me trying to be like, get you guys your product, because I know you guys are in time crunch and get it to you, and it'd be like, all right, then you can wait. Like, you know, so
then did you like do it super fast again, but then just sit on it?
Yeah, I didn't work on it at all, just for like a week. And then when they hit me, be like, yo, where's the edit? I was like, oh, I didn't want to give you a 3-hour edit. I edited it that night and gave it to them like a day or two later. So, and
they were happy with it.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I think client psychology is like so wild like that. Like, they should be like you're saying, every other one of your clients is like so stoked that they got it super quickly, but then this one for some reason thinks you got it to them too fast.
Yeah, like, exactly. Yeah,
that's wild.
Weird, dude.
That's cool though. That's awesome to like hear. Like, that's a huge part of your success. Like, being able to turn that around so fast, rather than like, oh, 3 months later, here's your video.
Dude,
you
don't know how many artists have told me these horror stories of like, yeah, I shot a video like 2 months ago, I still don't have an edit, or I shot a video 6 months ago and I don't have the final video, and I'm like, how are these directors or other people even getting jobs and working with people? Like, because. And literally, these people, they'll probably not work with them again, and that's why they stick with me. And like anyone that's worked with other people, no one, at least that I've met, no one else turns around a video the next day or two. Even this producer I work with, who's been producing a lot of my bigger stuff lately, he's produced some features and some shorts and different stuff, and really, really dope producer. Even when he started working with me, I sent him the first video we did together. I sent it to him the next day, and he was like, how? Like, he's like, dude, and he's like, this is good. Like, he was like, how? And the other day on the shoot, we've shot like 4 videos or so together now, and the other day on the shoot during lunch break with the artists around, all the crew, the grips, the PAs and everything, like, we were talking about editing. Tom, the DP, was just like, so when are you gonna have this one done, Jake? And then like the producer was probably tonight. Like, I'll probably get a message in my inbox at like midnight with the edit, like, just joking around. Then he was crazy. He's like, no, for real, I haven't met anyone that gets edits back or done quicker than this guy. So
that's so gnarly.
And he loves working with me because of that, and other, like I said, clients and do too. So that's a huge part of continued business, at least for me. So
that's so sick. That's dope. Hold on one sec. Let me reset the camera.
Yeah.
I think you just clicked off.
Yeah. No, that's okay.
I'm just going to leave it open for a second.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, dope. Super sick. All right, cool. So we'll just get you a couple more questions and let you go. I appreciate all the time, man. It's been super awesome.
Yeah, it's been fun.
That's crazy. You just don't, like, I've seen your timelines before, and I'm like, what's the organization here? Because it's like you have like 10 layers deep, and I'm like, what?
No, yeah, I'll be like 25 deep for it's crazy. It's kind of chaotic.
So then,
it's definitely, like I said,
like clients and having a lot of projects. Do you ever feel like overwhelmed? Like, if you shoot every day for a week and you have like 7 projects to do, like how do you handle that?
Thanks. Sometimes, but not really, because there's never a time where I'm shooting 7 days a week, because of the fact that I do have to edit everything.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be different if I was the DP and all I did was shot. Like, so if I went and shot this project, I could shoot something 7 days a week, but there's no way I could direct and edit something 7 days a week all the time. So, I mean, there's been spurts where there's been like 5 days in a row or stuff like that. But like I said, after the shoot, I don't care how late it is. I'll go home, drag it into Premiere, and at least start looking at some of the files and dragging stuff in, or just mess with the color, and dial in a color before I even edit, and like, oh, this is what I'm going to end up. I think I like this color. This is probably what I'll go with. Just like some prelim stuff, and then wake up at 6 a.m. and just edit and finish it that day. You know what I mean? So I think just sometimes it can get overwhelming depending on how many, but like I said, again, for me, I edit so quickly that I might be overwhelmed 1 minute, but then a day later I'm cool because I just got 2 edits knocked out, and I'll be straight. So I don't know. It's hard to say because I don't know. Like, I know other people that'll be like, yo, I got like 3 edits to do. I'm tied down, this and that. And I'm so quick with it. Like, most people, I guess, aren't necessarily like that, or so it's like I don't know what it's like to like have an edit take me a long time and feel like I'm gonna so I don't know. I've always been just really quick at it. Whether I don't use I really don't even really use shortcuts. I mean, I use a couple little ones, but it's not like I have some magic like formula going on. I think I just sit down and I do the work and don't go do other things until I get it done. You know what I mean?
He's super dedicated to it.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's really cool. That's really inspiring. Super cool stuff. All right, so let's see. All right, so our guy Fernando Treba, he says, okay, so what do you think like the future is in cinematography? Everyone's going crazy about drones and 4K. Like, what's next, and like how are you going to incorporate maybe what's next, or just where do you see cinematography going, and how's that going to kind of change your workflow or how you shoot? It's
interesting because everyone's tripping out over the different 4K cameras and getting smaller and smaller, but like I have the Sony A7S II, and something's actually wrong with it right now. I need to like send it back, but I was like shooting with it, and I really like the camera in low light, but I was shooting with it in like some daylight situations, and I'm like, I honestly don't like how the image necessarily really looks like. And then like when I bought the 5D Mark III for photography, I just pulled up CineStyle on it again and was just like looking at the video, and I was like, I love this image so much more than like what the Sony, at least in the daylight situation, like just the color tones of all of it, but it's not 4K. And I think some people just get lost in like, oh, 4K, like that's just the resolution. That doesn't mean, that's not color science. That's not the image that's coming out of it. That's the resolution of the image. Like, it might be a little tack sharper or something, but so I think, cameras keep getting, like, for example, the Arri Alexa for the longest time was, I think they have cameras now that are like the Alexa Mini is 4.5K or can do 4.5K, and I think they might have came out with that, I don't know if it's the XT or LT that can do higher resolution as well, but the Arri Alexa, I think, was always 2K, and Red was always doing like 4 and 5K, but yet the Arri Alexa was used on like 9 out of 10 Oscar films, like, every year for X amount of years in a row over the Red, like, and it's like, it's just something about the camera's image that it puts out, the colors, the creaminess, the whatever. It doesn't have a higher resolution in this camera. So I think a lot of people are getting lost in this wave of resolution, and everyone's just pushing it out. Drones that are 4K, this and 4K, and that's great because I love the higher resolution because I love to do digital pump ins and outs when I edit, and like a big example of that is Kyle's Really Yeah video. So if you guys want to see what I'm talking about with that, Kyle Really Yeah, look that up. Kyle Really Yeah, and there's a lot of just like digital punch ins and outs, and that's what's great about the higher resolution. I can punch way in and like still retain the image quality because of the high resolution. And it'll be like these quick punch in and out edits and rotating the image and doing cool stuff for editing wise. So it makes it really great for editing stuff as opposed to a 1080 image that as soon as you start to zoom it in, it's like, but I don't know. It'll be interesting because they keep just making them smaller and smaller. And now they're comparing. Sony just put out that A6300, which is like a small little photo camera that like does video too and has the S-Log profile. And there's all these videos now. Sony A6300 compared to the Sony A7S II or this image. I'm like, this thing is this big, and it's like this is not a video camera, and like they're comparing it for video capabilities. And this, it's like, what video would you shoot on that other than like you traveling and shooting like little things, but not like you're not gonna go shoot a commercial on that thing, or like at least to me it seems silly. So
So if you were like given like hypothetically, if you got a budget for a video, it's like we got 5Gs for you to rent, like
I'd get
a camera system. What are you gonna be thinking about? Definitely not resolution.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just image quality. And it depends on the type of video too. Like if I know it's a video, I'm going to be doing a lot of crazy editing or like green screen where they need lots of resolution to pull in and out or different things. Then probably like a Red Dragon or Red Epic or Weapon or whatever that has a lot of resolution. Obviously, the Red is still a great camera. But like if we're going cinematic, like in like I'm shooting a narrative film, like Alexa, you know. But those would be, you know, I want to own one of those cameras, but I haven't. I'm a director, and so I mean I do DP for people, but that's not ultimately what I want to do is be a DP. So I feel like I would be wasting money to buy a camera of that nature especially when cameras, they're always putting out new stuff and you know, and the technology's getting better, and I would feel like if that's not something I'm not trying to be a DP. So if I bought this camera because I could DP for other people or shoot my own stuff with a nicer camera, I feel like in a year or two it would be like, yo, why did I do that? Like that was such a waste. Like I could have rented the camera or hired a DP that has that camera if I really wanted that camera for a video. Like I don't need to buy it. So I think rentals, at least for like it depends on what you want to do. If you want to be a director, don't go buy a $70,000 Red Weapon or Alexa. Like if you want to be a director, you know, you don't need that to come up. You know what I mean? So
it's more about like you're saying it's more about like the specific like shot that you're trying to get.
Yeah.
Like if you're trying to shoot like in the daytime, you'd probably get like this sort of camera, or you're trying to get like more green screen stuff, you want this style or whatever. Yeah.
For example, like if I'm gonna go shoot like a outside low light video or a concert or something, I'll probably use my Sony A7S II. Yeah. I wouldn't even really prefer a Red over that because the Red is not necessarily the best in low light. The Sony's gonna way outperform what I need for that project. You know, as opposed to a Red or even like my Canon. But if I'm going to go shoot a music video in the desert or something and don't have a budget for a Red or anything, I'll probably use my Canon 5D now instead of the Sony because I like the image quality in the daylight better than the Sony, you know?
Yeah. Because a lot of people I feel get kind of stuck on, you know, I'm going to buy this one camera and use it for everything. But you're kind of like, I'm just going to use whatever's best for the situation.
Exactly. And that's why if I can... Once again, something's wrong with my sensor, so if I can return it and get like my money back, I'll probably just like, I don't know, I want to return it and get it back so I have a camera that's good in low light situations, but then I also have this camera, like I'm not going to use it they'll have specific, you know, duties. If I'm shooting something low light, the Sony. If I'm shooting something outside daytime, whatever, you know, the 5D. If I have a bigger budget for a music video, Red Epic, you know, so I'm not going to show up to a $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 music video with a little 5D in my hands. Like, okay, guys, I'm here to shoot this video. Like, no, I'm gonna pull out.
Not something that will like impress a client.
No, not at all.
That's tight. Yeah. So, I guess what's like the future for you? Are you gonna like continue like killing it in music videos? Or are you trying to think of something like different? You want to get in narratives? Like, what's the future for Jakob Owens?
It's tough. Ultimately I want to be a film, you know, director and have movies on the big screen and make films. But it's like when you're at like even the level where I'm at, you have to, unless you like just know the right people or whatever, like you have to fund everything yourself. So if I want to make this short film about this thing, like, you know, this scary short film that I want to make or have written, I'm going to have to pay the money it costs to make that. I'm not being hired to do that. It's like you have to use a lot of your own money to make it, and then if it doesn't do anything, like, and especially that's not necessarily like the chances of it getting picked up or being seen by the right people, or it's like, oh, we would like to buy this movie or turn this into a feature or this or that. I mean, you have to know the right person for that, know the right people to go to even pitch that. The likelihood of some random person just stumbling across this on a big scale and being like, oh, we want that idea, you know, if they don't just rip it themselves without even talking to you because you're some lowly. So it's tough. Like, you almost have to really, that's why I want to like really establish myself as like a really well-known music video director, because then that can open doors. Like a lot of directors started that way. Spike Jonze started that way, who did Where the Wild Things. Yeah, and there's a couple others that started that way too. So it's like establishing my name and having the connections with all these bigger people and the right people to where it's like when I want to do a movie, I can, and I don't maybe have to come out of pocket for it, or I can pitch it to someone because I know the right person. I can pitch them this movie, they love it, and then they fund it. So as of right now, it's just continuing to do the music video thing, and any jobs that kind of come my way that just keep me busy and working and honing my craft until the time comes. Yeah,
that's dope. Super dedicated. And so then I really want to give you like a chance to talk about like your LUT packages and stuff like that too. So like, you want to talk about that? I know you have them like for sale up on your website and whatever.
Yeah, on my website I have a little store link, but the other thing is just I think it's Jakob Owens, JakobOwensProductions.bigcartel.com. So it's just JakobOwensProductions.bigcartel.com, which I have everything from editing tutorials, color tutorials, to LUT packages, bundles, to video manuals, to sample treatments I've written for big budget music video clients. Like I have like 4 or 5 sample treatments for like, that I have in there. I'm trying to think what else is in there. There's a bunch of stuff in there, t-shirts, other stuff too. And the reason that all started, it all started with I would get, when I was coming up and like I said, I was shooting everything independently, I had a lot of people asking me questions all the time on Facebook, on YouTube, just asking me like, yo, what settings do you do for this? What's the camera, the setting, all these questions. How do you import and export your footage? My mom was literally like, you need to make a JOP manual, like how you shoot your videos. And I was like, it's kind of a good idea.
That's a great idea.
So I wrote this manual of how I shoot my videos because I had all these people wanting to know how I shot my videos and put it out there, and it sold like crazy. Like it did well, and then it was like people, once I would do other things, I started using a new camera. They're like, what are the settings you use on that camera? How do you use that camera? How do you get the most out of it? I wrote a manual on how I use this camera, how to get the best out of it. Then when I edit in Premiere, how I import and export out of Premiere and edit in Premiere, what's my timeline, my flow. People wanted to see my editing, like my editing styles and tricks and stuff. So I made like an hour tutorial of like, these are my favorite edits to do in Premiere. Here's kind of how I work it, kind of what I explain, the performances, the B-roll, and I have like an hour tutorial on there. So all that stuff's on that Big Cartel site, and it just kind of just happened. And same with color. People always loved my color, like, oh, how do you color your videos? How do you do this? And then I found out like how to like basically export my color to where you basically drag and drop, which is like a LUT kind of thing. And so people were always wanting to, color like me and use the color that I had. And so I started like, someone suggested that to me. They're like, bro, you should make like LUTs. One of my fans, they were just like, I love your color. Like, and I didn't even know what a LUT was at that time. And so then I just started exporting and selling those, and people love those. And I get tweets all the time, just like, bro, your LUTs help my footage look so much better, and like, they look great. Yeah,
that's cool though, because I know that on your Buff Nerds page, you also have like all these behind the scenes videos, right?
Yeah, and I try.
Like, someone could like watch the behind the scenes video. You could check out like your manual, and it'd be like boom, instant like music video like king. So
yeah. I try and like do a lot of behind the scenes on my YouTube channel. There's a lot of videos on there. I just uploaded one the other day of a bigger budget video. I think it was like an $8,000 budget video, but like a cool like 3-minute 30-second like really behind the scenes. You see how we lit it, the steady cam we use, the red, you just kind of see everything. And but yeah, I try and do those as well because people like to see kind of what's going on behind the scenes.
So then let's do 2 more things. Let's have me give you your like your Snapchat, what's your Instagram, all that stuff. Like plug that stuff so we have
everything. Everything is Jakob Owens with a K. So it's just at Jakob Owens. My Twitter is at Jakob Owens. My Instagram is at Jakob Owens. I think my Snapchat's just my name, Jakob Owens. Facebook. Yeah,
is YouTube Jakob Owens, the Buff Nerds?
No, so YouTube is just the Buff Nerds, and but yeah, I mean all those socials are just at Jakob Owens. So
that's hella dope.
Not hard to find.
And then I guess as a parting gift, like what would be like 3 things if like someone came up to you, they're a total newbie, and they were like, "Yo, I want to like be where you're at, Jake." What would you tell them like they need? This could be gear. This could be like mindset. Like
go. Basically, one of the biggest things. What I was saying is kind of like network in the sense of like reach out to people, and even if you're not getting paid, go help on this music video. Like there's this one. Like I've had a couple people, but one guy in particular that's helped out. Who reached out to me on Twitter, which is like, yo, anytime you need behind the scenes, like let me know. I had him come out for a shoot to do behind the scenes for a Kyle video. I think it was the Kyle video was the first time. He did behind the scenes, but I liked him. Like I vibed well with him on set, and he did good work. He got me an edit back right away. I brought him on my next one. I didn't pay him yet, but then all of a sudden I started paying him to come do these things because I was like, yo, like you're good and like, you know, you've proven yourself. And now he went on tour with Futuristic, got paid to go on tour with Futuristic, film his whole tour, is on tour with Kyle right now doing Kyle's tour. He's going to do another tour after Kyle's tour, and literally wasn't doing anything before that. Just reached out to me, like worked hard on a couple sets for me. I think it was like 3 or 4 before I even paid him. Then he didn't even suggest it. I suggested, I was like, yo, I want to pay you next time you come out because you deserve it. You know what I mean? And now he's doing cool stuff a few months later. So it's like, that's a big thing. Just take chances, go out there, pay your dues. Everyone wants to get paid right away and just like, oh, I'm not doing this if you don't pay me. Like, and it's just like, I'll do stuff for super cheap like now. And it's like, I don't need to, but it's like, if someone wants me to come out and like help shoot something, I'll go help them. Like, if it makes sense, like I see a bigger picture to it, you know what I mean? And you never know what connections could come from that. So that, and then shoot and edit something like every day, every other day. Like when I was in college and I didn't have anything going on, I didn't have class, it was the weekend, I wasn't shooting anything. I remember I'd film myself in my bed, like set it up on a tripod and pretend like I was having a nightmare and do a bunch of different angles and then put it into my timeline and try and edit it all trippy like I was having a nightmare, like with blurs and like fade ins and outs and brightness, and try and work on like a cool editing style or technique to make something scary or like nightmarish. I'd go out and film flowers and try and make like a cool aesthetic video of like I would go out and just shoot stuff and edit stuff all the time. Just practice and do it.
Just gain experience.
Exactly. Those 2 things. And then the other thing,
like what are the 3 keys right here?
So go out, shoot, edit every day, connect with people, and I'm blanking.
What does it got to be? People are waiting on this, Jake. They got to know. People got to know. Is it like staying dedicated?
Now I feel so much pressure to have this last one be so epic. Like it's just gonna be like oh gosh, I don't know.
I guess looking back on your career, like what is it really been? It's been the networking, it's been the shooting and trying new things, and then it's been like
develop relationships with people, like with your clients. Be nice, be courteous, even if they're pissing you off. Like, you know, just because you develop relationships with people, they're gonna recommend you to other people. Like, yo, this guy's dope. I really like him. He does good work. They're not gonna recommend you if you're a dick. That happened the other day. This one guy who he needed a DP for a shoot. I was busy. I had this guy who kind of knew him before, but was more connected through me. He came out and helped him. And like, he called me after the shoot and was just like, I'm never going to work with that guy again. And you know, he's not going to recommend anyone. He's not going to recommend him to anyone for a shoot because he just did not like him. He said he kind of had an attitude on set, was just kind of like not hustling, not like I'd ask him, he was like, I'd ask him to get the shot off and he'd be like kind of like hesitant and be like, well, why don't we try this? And he's like, I'm the director. Like, so it's just develop that relationship with people, be nice, be courteous, be friendly, be upbeat, be, you know, talk to people, check in with people, keep yourself on their mind. Like, and
That's
I
dope.
think that would be it.
That's hella dope. Well, Jake, seriously, man, thank you so much for like spreading all your knowledge, like taking all the wisdom that you've gained over all the years of shooting and just like networking and like making it happen and just like combining it. Because this is going to be like, someone's going to find this and they're going to be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And it's going to like pave that pathway for them. So I really appreciate you coming out and talking about it.
That's dope. I hope it does. Cool, man.
All right, cool. Well, for now, I'll let you go. Thanks again. Jakob Owens, everyone look him up.
Look me up, guys. The Buff Nerds, Jakob Owens.
Peace, Doug.
Peace.